This is our first episode of David's Delight, or D's Delight. I'm David, and I'm the D of G&D. And so we're going to change this up a little bit. And today we're going to start with broccoli beef. This is an easy recipe. I've done it a couple times since we've been in quarantine, so it's gotten real easy to do. It's a real simple recipe. So here it goes. Here's the ingredients. So first, I wrote it all down so you could see it. It's 1/3 cup of oyster sauce, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. I also add a little bit of the liquid seasoning because I really like that. The teaspoon of white sugar, but we really don't use sugar, so I use sugar substitute. Then we have some cornstarch, a 1/2 kilo of beef cut into slices that are easy to eat, and 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And then you need 3 thin slices of ginger root, 3 cloves of garlic peeled and cut. I have 2 small onions cut into thin cuts, and 1 pound of broccoli cut into florets. So I already cut up my onions, as you can see right here. Just nice little sizes there that will go really good in the oil. So I have my onion, my garlic, and my ginger. I use a little bit more than 3 thin slices because I really like that taste of ginger. And then with the broccoli, and I just cut it up into these little pieces. Make sure you're nice and clean, and you just cut it up like that. And then I already cut up my beef, so I just sliced it into edible bite sizes. So there wasn't any skirt steak, so I just cut this up so it's really easy to chew and easy to digest. Now, as you see, I'm not a fancy chef. So I don't have fancy tools, so I just use what I have around the house. Like, I'm using the pan. So I'm gonna use that as put all my ingredients in there. All right, and then I'm gonna just shake it all up and just stir it all in together. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my 1/3 cup of oyster sauce. Now, I don't have using anything fancy for a measuring cup. I got that out of my rice cooker. And so you can see on there, so I'm gonna just put like 1/3 cup. And we like oyster sauce, so I might put a little bit more. There we go. All right, there, just about like that. Just gonna put that in there. Now, I like to use this. This is something I've been using. It's just called liquid seasoning, Knorr's, and I just got this at the grocery store. And I do about 2 squeezes of that, maybe 3. There we go. And some cornstarch. It just looks like this. Get it at the grocery store. So I'm gonna put about 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Oh, I'll use this spoon. Okay, I should have get a, yeah, well, I'll just use it. There we go. Just 1 teaspoon. Put it in there. Now, I forgot to mention the sugar. I hadn't put the sugar in, but at this time you could put it in here, or you can let it, the meat marinate, and then before you cook, put the 2 packets of sugar on there, which I'm going to do in this today. Just gives it a little bit more sweetness. Now, I'm just stirring this all up so I get all the clumps out of the cornstarch. So it just runs smoothly off my spoon. There we go. So what I'm going to do is just mix up the meat into this little bit of marinade, this little sauce, just to get all the meat coated. Now, what's really great, the cornstarch is going to make this a thicker sauce when it's all cooked up. So those flavors are going to really pop. It's going to be really nice. There we go. Just mix it up. Now I'm just going to pop this back into the refrigerator and let it marinate. Now I'm going to let it marinate for about 1/2 hour. Now you could do this like the night before and let it marinate all night, overnight. And then that way when you get up and want to cook this, it's really easy to do. You cannot marinate it at all. I mean, just put the sauce on and then cook from there. we are. It's nice and cooled and it's all marinated in there, all ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna just let it sit out here while I prep this part here. Remember, it did call for some vegetable oil, and this is where the vegetable oil comes in. I already have my pan heating here, so I'm just gonna cover the pan, the bottom of the pan, with some oil, and I'm gonna let that heat up just a little bit. Because what I'm going to do then is I'm gonna just add the onions, the garlic, and the ginger. And I really only want the onions to be clear. So I'm not gonna cook them in there to get them brown, more of a clear color. You can hear that. Now I used white onions instead of red onions, only because that's what was handy today. But red or white onions work just fine. What's really nice about this part is the smell. You can smell the onions, the garlic, and that ginger. Very, very nice. All right, so while that's heating up there, the one thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add the sugar that I talked about earlier. Like I said, I don't use the white sugar. I use like Splenda. I'm gonna put it on there. That just gives some sweetness. Just let that sit on there. So you can just see that the onions, you just see they're clear. You can see through them. And that's when you're getting that really nice flavor of those onions. You don't want to overcook them. You don't want to get them too hot. Okay, I'm going to just give that a couple more minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now add the meat. And I'm going to do little by little here. Listen to that sizzle. So we got the onion, the garlic, and the ginger in there. You can just smell that. So, it's really, really nice. That ginger, that garlic, this meat. I wish you could smell it. Well, when you cook yours, you'll be able to smell this. It's really, really nice. One thing I like to do is now that this is going, and it doesn't call for it in the recipe, but I like to add just a little bit of water. I would say maybe like a 1/4 cup. There, all right. Now you let this cook maybe for about 5 minutes. Just let it sit. You could stir it every once in a while. You can see it starting to bubble. You can see with the cornstarch, it's starting to thicken down there with the water. There. And this is really a good time. Well, actually, when I first took the meat out of the refrigerator, would have been a really good time to start your rice cooker, to start your rice, because this is really good over rice. You have your broccoli beef with rice. Delicious. All right, I'm gonna just give that a couple minutes. You can see that gravy. It's that thickness from the cornstarch. And remember, we added very little cornstarch. So, and let this go just for a little bit longer. I wish you could smell this. It's so nice. It smells delicious. Very nice. I'm gonna add maybe just a touch more water because I'm gonna be adding the broccoli. After the 5 minutes, I'm gonna add broccoli to that, and that's gonna help get the broccoli softened. You want your broccoli al dente. You still want a little bit of crunch to it, but you don't want it just totally raw. So this water will just help with that. Now you don't have to add the water at all if you don't want to. I didn't my first time, and I wish I had, because it would. I didn't get this really nice gravy. I didn't get this the flavors from this because you remember you do have the oyster sauce, you have the liquid seasoning, you have the soy sauce, and you have your ginger. Here, taste this. It's delicious. It's a little hot. Oh, delicious. That bite. Juicy. All those flavors, very, very nice. I'm gonna add my broccoli now. Now here, all I do is I just move this sauce around so it just covers the broccoli. And then I'm gonna cover it for just a couple minutes, and that's gonna soften everything in there. I'm just gonna cover this just for a couple minutes while this softens. All right, and that's it. You have your beef and broccoli. Now all you do is just get yourself a bowl of rice. You could put this on top of the rice. It's really, really good because the sauce in here that you made on here, the gravy, is really, really nice and it soaks into the rice. Or you just eat it like this. It's delicious. I hope you enjoy. Now, don't forget to like this. Press the like, press the subscribe, and tell a friend. And then watch some of our other videos. We have more in store for you. All right, this is David's or D's Delights. And starting next week, Monday, it's gonna be D's Diet. I'm starting a new program and I'm gonna do a before and after 28 days. So, gotta watch, follow, watch. Well, the rice is done. It's nice and hot. It's ready to go. And now all you do is spoon this on. Get that gravy in there. And you have a great meal. You have your vegetables, you have your proteins.
Hey,
all right.
Let's try it.
Bon appetit. So that is the broccoli and beef recipe. Very simple, easy to do. Real easy ingredients and takes maybe 25 minutes at the most to make if you don't include the marinating. There you go. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Yay. Let's try it.
Let's see. How is it?
I like the taste.
Good.
Thick sauce. Great job, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. It's D's Delights.
D's Delights.
D's Delicious Delectable Delights.
That's good.
In Dumaguete. David's Delights in Dumaguete.
All right.
All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you later. Bye.